Hi, my name is Miss Kimberly. I'm with the Red Bank Library, and this video is part of our STEAM series. These are activities that focus on science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And for this video, we're going to create a kaleidoscope. And for what you need to start off with, you need a tube. You can use either a paper towel tube or even a toilet paper tube. Something bigger is like Pringles can. Anything that like that will work for this. I'll start off with the toilet paper tube since we've already done the measurements for that and everything. You also need a reflective surface. In this case, I used foil paper that's glued onto cardstock. Gives it a nice stiff backing. If you can find foil paper in any craft store, usually in the scrapbooking section. If you don't have foil paper, you can use something like tin foil, aluminum foil. Just glue it onto cardstock to make it a little easier to work with. All right. You also need a ruler and a pen or pencil because we are going to be doing a little bit of math with this. All right. So to start off, have your tube. In this case, my paper towel tube. And if you want, you can decorate it to start off with. It's easy to do. You can either paint it or cover it with construction paper or draw on it. You can see I had a little bit of fun. I used some washi tape and decorated it because I like a lot of color. All right, so this is our tube. Then we need the mirror that goes inside that helps reflect all the colors. And we're actually going to show how to do that in several different shapes. So what you need is, in this case, our foil paper. Now you need to cut a section that's at least 5 inches wide. Now for the length of it, you can measure it against your tube. You want it to be probably about 1/2 inch shorter than your tube. That gives you a little space to put in whatever's going to create your colors. So in this case, this tube is about 11 inches, so our foil paper is 10.5 inches. All right. So once you have your section, remember it needs to be 5 inches wide. Now we need to create a shape for it. The one I have in here, you can see is shaped like a triangle. So we'll start off with how to make this one, the triangle one, and then I'll show you how to make some different shapes. So take your foil paper, and on the back of it, you're going to need to draw sections. Might get my glasses so I can see it. Now for this, you are going to need sections that are 1 3/8 inches wide. So you're going to need 3 sections. So you're going to take your ruler, measure. First one is 1 3/8 inch. Then add another 1 3/8 inch to that. So that would be about 2 3/4 inches. Add another 1 3/8 inch, which brings you up to 4 1/8 inches. Now that's going to actually leave you a little bit of extra at the end, and that's okay because you're going to want that to fold over so you can tape it so it doesn't come undone. All right, so you've marked your 1 3/8 inch, so you can use that to draw a line across, and this is going to be the line you use to fold it. So that's 1. And you need 3 sections because how many sides does a triangle have? It has 3 sides. 2 and 3. All right, you can see we've got our 3 sections here and our little bit of extra. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fold it on each of those lines. So fold the first one over on the line. See, we folded right on that first line there, then fold it on each line after that. second section. That's 2 sections. Now we need that last one. All right. See, we've got it folded into our 3 sections plus our little extra section. Now what we need to do, we're going to take this, fold it over, and fold it and bring that extra over so that it actually forms a triangle, just like this. You can see it like that, and you can then just tape it on this side where the folded over section is. Tape it with the extra so that it holds together like this. All right. Now if you want to test it, you want to make sure that it fits inside the tube. Now you want it as close to the edges as possible because you don't want this rattling around in here. But you're gonna need to make sure it's just small enough to just fit just inside of that. All right. So that would be our triangle one. Now you can also do this in different shapes. It's kind of fun to see how it reflects if you use different shapes in it. So we're also going to do a square one like this. Now this, the measurement has to be just a little bit different. So again, we're bringing that math out again. So these need to be 1 1/8 of an inch wide. So you need, and how many sides does a square have? It has 4 sides. So we need 4 sections. Each one has to be 1 1/8 of an inch wide. So we'll measure 1 1/8. Add on to that is 2 2/8, or 2 1/4. Add on to that another 1 1/8. That would be 3 3/8. Add another 1 1/8 onto that. That is 4 4/8. Otherwise, 4 1/2 an inch. So, see, we've got our distances measured, and just use those lines to draw across. Again, these are going to be the lines that you're folding on. This just helps make sure that you're folding in a straight line. I know whenever I try to do that, if I don't have a line, it's all crooked all over the place. All right. And that makes section number 4. All right. So just like before, instead of the 3 sections, we have 4 sections here for the 4 sides, and a little bit extra to fold over so that you can tape it. So just like we did with the 3 sides, we need to fold each of these over on the lines. You do need to keep in mind you're going to refold it with the reflective side on the inside of the shape. If you fold it on the outside, it's not going to reflect your colors inside your kaleidoscope. So first section, fold over on the second section, just fold right on that line. That gives you 2 sections. Now we need the third section. So we've got 4 sections and our last extra little bit to help fold over and fasten it. There we go. So you've got your 4 sections for your 4 sides. Take it, fold it up so it makes a square. Just like that. And then just tape on your last side here to help hold it. So then you have your 4-sided reflective surface. Remember, the shiny part goes on the inside, okay? And again, if you want to test it, make sure it fits in your tube. You can see how the corners are right up to the edges. That gives us as much reflection as possible inside, and also keeps it from rattling around. And also, let's do one more shape. And I don't know if we want to fold it many more sides, so let's do a really simple shape. You can even do this as a circle inside. It's still going to reflect in that, Nice part of that is it doesn't mean you don't have to do any folding. So you can take this, take your foil paper or your aluminum foil, whichever you are using, roll it in a circle, again with the shiny side on the inside, and just slide it inside as a roll. You don't even have to tape that because it fits so nice and snug, it won't go sliding around. And see if it's right in there. Now you'll see on here, there's a little bit of a lip there where it doesn't cover. That's okay, that gives our space. We need to put something colorful in there so you get a little reflection. All right? Now, to put something colorful in there that's going to shine around here, there's a couple different ways you can do this. We're going to show you the really easy way first, and then the slightly more complicated way. For the easy way, all you need is either a piece of saran wrap or even a plastic sandwich baggie that you can cut, separate it and cut it in two so you have two pieces. Just like that. All right, now this is really a nice way to do it because this lets you change it if you want to put different colorful things in there. So you take your first one, put it over the end of it, and pull it down so you can see it like that so it covers the whole thing, and you want it fairly tight. And take a rubber band and wrap it around it so it holds it still. Just like that on the end. Again, you can do this with saran wrap. That'll hold it really stick. It's a little harder to work with. But you want to take it and you actually want to push in a little bit. So you got kind of a little bubble in there because that's where you're going to put your colorful stuff. And what we did, we got some colorful plastic beads. You can use beads, you can use sequins, you can use little plastic gemstones, perler beads, anything you want. Just anything that's going to have a little bit of color. So you drop it in. Just fill up that little pocket. See. Make sure you've got lots of different colors so it'll really look pretty on the inside. There we go. I'm not going to tilt it or all my beads will come flying out. So you've got all your beads in your pocket. Of course, now you don't want them falling out of your pocket. So this is where you need your second sheet or the second half of the plastic bag. You're going to fold it over the top just like you did with the first one. Pull it down nice and tight so it covers that completely. And there, you can see it holds it in. Don't forget to put your rubber band on so it doesn't fall off. There we go. Now you have your colors in the end. And you have just put together a kaleidoscope. And test it out, look through it, shine it through so you're looking up towards the light and you can see all the colors are reflecting around inside there. And see how it looks, because right now we've got the round one, the circle shape in there. Look at how that makes it reflect around. But if you want to try it a little bit different, remember you can take that shape out. So we did the circle. Let's try the triangle. So slide the triangle in and watch how that reflects. It's going to look different than the circle. So see how the different shapes cause the light to reflect in different ways. Remember, we're getting a little science in here. You can look at the turn. To make it move, you can turn it, or you can turn the shape inside. So since we did the triangle, do you think the square will look different? Will that reflect differently? Gotta test it. So put your square inside, slide it in, and it does look different. Very different, but very pretty. All right. So that was a really simple way to put the colors in. If you want to get a little fancy, there's another way to do it. Now, with the saran wrap or the plastic bag, one advantage of that is it lets you change it. But if you want to just have a permanent one in there, we're going to show that. Be careful taking it off, otherwise you're going to have beads all over the place. Now, if you want to try a little more permanent one, and for younger kids, you might need parent help with this, because this, we're going to use a hot glue gun. You're going to need a couple little circles of plastic. Now, the easy way to do it has to be clear plastic. What I did, I got the lids from a fruit container. Anything like this works really well. So what you want to do is take your tube and trace a circle around all the way around it. So then you're going to need to cut out that circle. See, you've got a nice little circle of plastic. I already cut one out, so I have it prepared already. And my shape was a little bit off, so I can use one to trim down that one. There we go. 2 circles of plastic. Now what you're going to do, take this, and I actually put this inside because that helps a little brace, because you're going to take one of those circles and put it inside the top of that. And you see our shape is actually help holding it up so it doesn't slip further in. Once you get it in there, this is where you need the hot glue gun. So this is where you might need a little parent help. So you're just going to glue around the sides to hold that in place. Now it doesn't take very long to cool, so you just leave it for a moment while that is cooling. So then, while that cools, grab your color. In this case, we had our beads. We can actually probably add a few more beads in here. Still cooling a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop these in and fill up that little pocket of space. Remember that little half-inch space that we left? That's what this is for. So we can fill that up without having them all fall down in there. And we've been getting beads all over. So again, you can put anything with lots of color in there. You can do buttons, you can do beads, perler beads, sequins. Have the little plastic gemstones. Those look really pretty. Okay, let's add lots of colors. And the nice thing about this, because it makes a nice big pocket, some of these might actually move around a little bit, so you get shifting shape colors and shapes inside. All right, once you have that in, you're going to take your second circle, put that on top. Oop, I need to trim off just a little bit of that so it fits just a little bit better. There, should fit just inside. Take your hot glue gun. And you're going to go all the way around the edges. And glue that in so that stays in there. All right. You can see that's in there. Still, I'm not going to push it too far because that's still drying in there. But then you can really look through, and as you move it, because there's a little bit of a bigger pocket, those beads are moving around a little bit. So you get to see how the color patterns inside shift and change around. And again, you can take your shape out, try it with all the different shapes. See, we're getting a little geometry in here too. Try it with the circle one. Oh, that's pretty. I like this. And move it around and see what it does. And that is how you make a simple kaleidoscope. Now, if you want to try making one at home, you can try it with any of the resources I used here. Also, this week's Take and Make activity that you can find at any of the branches is going to have a simple kaleidoscope kit inside of it. So if you want to try that also, you can pick one up at any of the locations and try it out yourself at home. All right?